Alright, guys, I'm back. So, we're gonna talk about why United States is, like, in my opinion, spiritually dead. Or it feels that way to me. I do realize that there are many groups that are religious and spiritual, you know? So, it's not just, I don't know, it's not all spiritually dead, right? So I'll say that. I'll say that. And there is still, I think there are many still people who care about their neighbors, their fellow Americans, everybody, or just people in general, right? Many people are caring. So I think that that's part of spirituality. Maybe I'm wrong, or probably, but it's my take. It's my take. So, but I think that United States is uniquely different from many other countries and nations, and that's for both good and bad, or what are maybe not good or bad, but it could be advantageous and disadvantageous for different people. Besides that, America is I think a part of United States is that traditions are actually broken a lot, I think United States has been very progressive at times. Right now, if it seems kind of conservative or whatever those terms even mean, but what was I even thinking about? So I was saying that people in America are both progressive, like they want change, and many of those changes bring in a lot of changes to religion in general. And I think that's one part of why I feel like the United States is kind of spiritually broken instead of like spiritually united, I'm not saying there should be one religion. It's not really what I'm saying. There can be many religions, but I think that it is part of the problem because, at least in my take, it makes it all feel fake, And I don't know if I'm atheist, but I'm like I really don't quite like concern myself with that, honestly, but I do concern with myself with seeing each other as united, seeing each other as spiritually like brothers and sisters in a way where we can all help each other out, so like in a way that's my spiritism. Not really like, it doesn't have to include God, but it could, it definitely could. Now the thing is that we have so many religions, and I feel like they're competing, not all of them, but it sure is. I think it's incentivized to compete, right? So, and that causes many problems. I think one of the big problems is that it could result in cult tactics. So you start using very powerful tactics to trap people in, and then you trap in families, and you get doctrinized, and doctrinization, in my opinion, is the opposite of spiritism. You know, it's just not the same. You know, you can have your take, whether you want to use the Bible or the Quran or, I don't know, like Indian stories. I know that's not really what the terms, but like the Buddhist stories, whatever you use for your moral compass or your train of thought, your way of living. Sorry, what was my point? I don't think it should be forced on children, you know? Like, they're in their own minds children of God, you know? Their thoughts are as pure as can be. You know, they teach us more about God than we can teach them, in my opinion, you know? But anyways, I don't feel a unification. And that's a big deal because I feel like there's so much exploitation going on. You know, it's so easy when people are doctrinized, and or they're in a cult, or they're just super excited about their religion in the wrong way. and what's it called? They just don't care about others the same. You know, they feel like they're doing enough. You know, they're like, oh, I helped out my friend Joe here, and that's it. You know, I don't concern myself with anybody else or the world's problems because I'm gonna be saved in the future. You know, instead of focusing on problems right now, you know, that can be fixed. And you know, I think that's a big part of Jesus' story, is that he helped people, you know, and he lived below his means. And I think that's a big part of it, is that, you know, we all live, I'm not saying like above our means, but there's definitely enough to share for everybody, and nobody has to work so hard for everything that they already own. You know, it's a little rigged, in my opinion, because in nature we're given everything, you know, like we already have now. We have everything. We have clothes, we have our houses, we have our cars, and that all came from nature. So it feels a little disingenuous to tax everything and to just have, like, I feel like it's all forced. You know, it's forced to have businesses and things like that. Not all of it. Like, I can see a world where there's streets and there's communities and religious communities and there's probably shops, you know, different things. But I truly believe that everything should be like, you know, kind of like mom and pop shops. Sure, there could be maybe some big corporations that we really need, like maybe like a healthcare system or something like that. But anyways, the point is that right now we got too much space that's not being used, you know, like big parking lots that could be used, and a lot of food gets wasted, and we're just not caring for each other's well-being, you know, because of money. And we're all individualized. We're all in our little circles, instead of thinking big picture. How can we make big changes fast, so that, you know, we're in a position where we can enjoy our lives instead of being worried about what the news has to offer, you know. Of course, that's easier said than done, but I think a big starting point is the spiritualism. I think it's very important. And I might be in a minority on this because I don't feel like many people have the same interests as I do. You know, maybe this is a little side note, like a little tangent, but I feel alone when it comes to talking about like things like in this video. You know, I don't understand why. I have one good friend that I call my brother. I have two, actually, that I call my brother. Two really good friends. One of them works really hard, and he's always been on the grind. That's his way of living. I associate it kind of like with the Tao. And then my other friend, he reads a lot. He sees a lot of things, and he's also kind of working his life, like in the way that the Tao would be. But he's also very Christian, you know. So I believe my other friend is also Christian. So, this is a side tangent. I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but yeah, I would say that they're spiritual, you know. Yeah, especially my friend that is a nurse, that reads a lot. To me, he's the only one that like we talk about, really have like deep conversations about everything that's going on. But I think what's wrong with the United States is that we don't really love the land that we have below us as much, you know. There's definitely fanatics, but we're kind of missing the point. Is that we all have short lives, and we're kind of missing out on the good things in life. Our spiritual, our what divides us spiritually in this nation is dividing us, you know. Like it kind of multiplies, you know. I know there's exceptions, and maybe it's not the rule what I'm talking about, but I'm making a video about it, and for some reason I feel like it's a problem that I have to talk about, you know. I don't know what else to say more, because I haven't really meditated so much about what I'm talking about. But I think United States just feels empty to me. You know, it doesn't call to me. Maybe it's just like not meant for me. Like I'm supposed to leave, like go to a different country or something like that. Or like there's nothing, I'm not saying there's anything like super wrong with the United States. That overall it's still a great country, you know. I'm not starving, you know. It's just maybe it's just my side of the story. Somebody else could have been born and been a lot less lucky than I have, you know. And maybe they have a different view in the United States. I know that I met somebody that I felt like their circumstances were so bad that they were screwed over by the system and everything in general, just like from the start, you know. And I feel like that really sucks, you know. And there was nothing that I could have done to prevent it. Nobody else sees what happens to a person until you really get to know them. And I feel like this system affects people personally in a bad way. You know, I don't know what it is, but I have heard people say that we rob from the poor and we give to the rich. And you know, maybe that's what's sucking our souls in a way. I don't know. Maybe it's way more than that. There's way more things I haven't thought about. You know, I don't know, but you can comment down below. I want to talk about you guys giving me 5 hours view time. I honestly really appreciate it. It's a lot more than I expected. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my videos. And yeah, keep rocking. Keep doing what you gotta do. Figure it out, man. It's I wrote down once, like, life is not a puzzle to be solved, yet I still live like I'm in a puzzle. You know, so I don't know, take that what you will. That was a weird thing to say, but I hope you guys are having a good day. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Subscribe and hit that bell so that you can see my next video. I guess I'll do it on what you can do spiritually so that you feel fulfilled if you do feel broken. So yeah, make sure to hit that bell. Let me know in the comments if you like this style of video more, because I didn't plan this one. My first 2 videos were planned and kind of like bullet point style. So let me know if you like this video more. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.